City Unite. I have a wonderful person with me today that's more than just a co-worker, but I feel like it's family to me. I'm gonna say Pastor Amy Everett. I normally just say Amy. We've been together for 11 years at One City Church, and I'm honored to have her here with me today to discuss not just one ministry that she's over, but two ministries that she's over. So we'll start with One City Cares first, and I want you to just take a time just to let us know about you. Of course, we know your name is Amy Everett, but just a little bit about your family, about your life, and why One City Cares.
Okay. I have a wonderful husband. We've been married since 2010. Just celebrated our 10-year anniversary, and I have 3 kids. My little boy's 2, and I have a just turned 7-year-old little girl and then an 8-year-old little girl. So I love my family. They're so supportive. My husband's very supportive, and I couldn't do any of this, One City Cares or what we're going to talk about today, without him just being there for our family. So very blessed. I started out in ministry. Really, I grew up in it. And so youth leader in high school and kind of have just continued. I was thinking about how long it had been, and 25 years,
Wow.
I guess it's going to date me a little bit, but 25 years in ministry. Been here at One City Church for 15. And so it's been wonderful, and I'm excited about One City Cares. It's fairly new, and then Freedom we're going to talk about in a little bit. But I have a undergrad in psychology,
Yes.
And a master's in social work, and I'm licensed through the state. I'm as a social worker, LMSW. But I'm called to ministry, but it's really cool how the Lord guided me in education. Didn't really know at the time why I got my master's in social work. I just was really being led by him. But I see now through One City Cares that he had a plan. And so it's really cool to see those pieces come together.
Well, Pastor Amy, explain to me and us the 25 years in ministry.
So my parents are the pastors of One City Church. So kind of been a part of it from the womb. Grew up in church, and from a very young age, I would say in high school, early high school, felt called to ministry myself. And so I've been with them. You know, I feel called to their ministry specifically, not just as a family, but as a calling. And so I'm very honored to be a part of what God is doing through them here at One City.
I like what you say, you were called. Not just because they're your parents, but God called you. Do you remember how he called you, when he called you?
I think unofficially, it was whenever God called them to pastor, come on staff at Brownsville. They eventually became the senior pastors. I was actually going to college in Dallas, and I was home for the summer when he told me. And I don't think I knew it at the time, but I knew immediately when he told me, I knew I want to go with you. You know, I don't want to return back to Dallas for school. I'm going to come with y'all to Pensacola. And then as you grow older and you understand the discernment of Holy Spirit and all of that, as I've been here at One City, that calling to their ministry has just grown. But I would say that's probably the first time that I had that check, like, I want to be a part of what God's doing through your ministry.
Wow. Go back and think about when God called you to release to our lead pastors about One City Cares.
It was during the pandemic, during COVID. I've always had a desire and been attracted to things going on in our community, people that are in need. Always had a heart for it, even when I was very, very young. And so during COVID, I think everything kind of started, all these needs started bubbling to the surface. And you're at home and everything's you're discombobulated and things are not normal, and you really start being self-reflective and all of that. And as I was home, I just had a lot of time to think about, okay, what's next? And once all this is over, I couldn't picture myself going back and doing ministry the way I was doing it before. And I knew that there was more. And so all that I just kept seeing in front of me, all these needs, I was like, I want to be a part of that. And then it just kind of clicked. It was like the Lord, it was like a reel of my life. And then having the education background that I had, and then going through social work and all of my desires to help the community. It was like a fast reel. And it was like in a moment, I was like, we need to start something that's a ministry to the community. And he just started downloading ideas and giving me specific needs in the community, and then organizations. And I was like, I want to be a part of that. I want to help them. I want to help them. And it happened so quickly. And just, I can't tell you where I was or what the day would look like, but I just knew in a moment, I don't want to go back to ministry the way that it was before COVID.
Yes.
And I know that there's too many needs in our community that the church needs to be a part of the solution. And I want to be a part of that.
I like the way you said it just clicked. And sometimes God just does that. It's a click. And not in an opportune time, because COVID was not. You're at home, you shut in with your kids. And then he began to show you a reel of your life. And I'm saying this, and I'm repeating what you're saying, because there's others out there watching that'll stop by and look at us and check us out, that are looking for ways to help the community, or just looking for ways to do something, maybe not in church as a ministry, but maybe as a nonprofit organization out in the community. And so it might not be in that opportune time that he calls us, or that opportune time that we get just a download of something we need to do to help the community. What is the purpose of the mission of One City Cares?
So when the Lord had all that click happen for me, I was reminded of our church body and how we have people in our church so many times that say, I want to help, I want to do something, I want to be a part of something. And it kind of stops right there. They're not equipped, they're not given the opportunity. And so for me, I knew that one of the things about One City Cares is I wanted to get our church outside of the walls. I wanted to get them into the community. I knew that the desire was there. I knew the heart was there. I've heard people voice that. But it was like there was nothing. They didn't know, how do I do that? How can I walk that out? How can I carry that desire out? And so I knew that was one of the purposes of One City Cares was to equip One City Church to get out into the community. And then I also felt that the mission was going to be partnering with local organizations and meeting their needs, getting into a relationship with them. How can the church and the organizations partner together, whether they're a religious organization or not, partner together to, two are better than one, and so let's partner together to get this stuff done. And so I'd say that's really the mission, is just meeting the needs in the community and equipping our church to do it.
And the vision, why does it exist? Why does One City Care exist here? Because I know, because I'm a member and on staff at One City Church, I understand why it exists, but also help not just our members or others watching, but those that want to start an organization or community outreach, to understand not only you need a vision, but you need your mission, but back again, a vision. So why does it exist?
So my vision may not be what a non-Christian's vision is, but my vision for One City Cares was to be the hands and feet of Jesus to our community, because that's what Jesus did. Jesus was out there feeding the hungry, putting a blanket around the cold, those that were in need. He was there meeting that need. He wasn't in the synagogue. He didn't stay within those walls.
That's good.
He was on the streets helping those who had a need. And so for me, the vision of One City Cares, long-term, short-term, is to be the hands and feet of Jesus, to show the community God. And a lot of times we can't use that language, but if we meet the need and they see Jesus within us, that's going to create that hunger within them to say, why are you doing this for me? Like, why are you going out of the way to help me? And then I can share Jesus with them. Or I could say something simple like, God loves you and I want to do this for you. And that's it. And that's all that they need to be reminded that there is a God and he does love them.
I like also you have the understanding and the openness to bring in other non-Christians. And not force them to become Christians, but just show them who Jesus is. What community outreaches, groups, or collaborating organizations that you work with?
So in 2020, I was making a list, and I was like, wow, this is a lot longer than I remember it being. I guess the Lord just makes the work light and easy whenever you're doing it for him. But it's the first thing that we ever did with One City Cares was because of COVID. We partnered with a lady in our church, Ann Gaspard, to bless the frontline healthcare workers during COVID. And so we did a crawfish boil, and we took the proceeds from that, and we just wanted to bless them because they were going through a really hard time in 2020. So that was kind of like the first kind of unexpected thing that we did with One City Cares, but it was really cool to do. And then, we ministered to the homeless with backpacks last year. We did some back-to-school mail-outs, encouraging our teachers, because they were going back to COVID during all this crazy, because the beginning of the school year looked, and everything was unexpected. They didn't know what to expect. We had Life Share blood drive. Hurricane Laura happened in the fall, so we sent some things to Louisiana. They were really affected by that. We helped a church in Orange, Destiny Church. They did some hurricane relief and giving out some food and water to the community. We supported the Hope Clinic. They had their Walk to Celebrate Life in the fall. And then we did a Thanksgiving. We did a food drive. It was pretty small, but we did a food drive around Thanksgiving. And then we partnered with our kids' church here to do Operation Christmas Child, where we packed boxes of toys and stuff, and we shipped them to kids all over the world. And then the last thing from 2020 that we did was we blessed 5 families in our church and not in our church that needed food, and they needed the resources to buy gifts for their kids at Christmas time. And that was really rewarding to do that, because it was a surprise. They knew we were bringing them food, but the financial gift was a surprise to them. And that was a really cool moment to see the gratitude on their face for that.
To be able to take care. A lot of people were out of work for COVID. So to be able to have finances to make their family Christmases better was an amazing, that's a great idea. Any other organizations you desire to connect with? Because this is the time to say it.
I forgot about the King and Country concert in the fall.
I did
So
too.
we were at Ford Park. That was one of, our biggest event, actually. Can't believe I forgot about it. Ford Park reached out to us and asked us to be one of the sponsors at the King and Country concert in the fall. It's a Christian band that came, and it was kind of one of the first kind of community events that people participated in after COVID. And it was really cool it was so much fun, and it was just a great opportunity to connect with the community, kind of let them know who we are. There wasn't a lot of ministry per se, but we were just able to get out there and to just bless people, give them food and candy and the kids glow sticks to enjoy the concert. And we also partnered with Ford Park to have a wall to have police officers and fire department and all of the frontline workers come and sign just in support of everything going on with COVID. And the community was able to come out and sign the wall saying thank you and we appreciate you. So that was a cool way to verbally appreciate all of the frontline workers. during COVID. And then this year, some of the organizations that we hope to continue partnering with, and we partner with some. Harvest House, they are an organization that is fighting to end child sex trafficking in Southeast Texas, which is a really horrible epidemic that I think most people, either it's too uncomfortable for them to talk about, or maybe they just don't know about it, but it's happening. It's very real, but they're doing the hard work to end it. And so we are supporting them. We were able to raise some funds for them for some projects that they have going on. And then just little stuff. I think at Christmas time, we gave them some gifts to give to the girls. And really anything that they have, I'm always there to partner with them and support them. And then Dream Center is a local organization that helps people out of drug and alcohol addiction.
Yes.
It's a program, a residential program. Right now, they're housing men, and I think they're about to open the women's unit soon. And so we actually have something planned with them in June that we're going to get out there and help them with their facilities. We've partnered to support the Beaumont PD. Hope for the Homeless, we have that coming up in June. We're going to be feeding them the first Friday in June at the park. With Hope for the Homeless, that's a ministry actually out of our church, but she works with the Night Strike and some other, organizations locally that help with the homeless. And the Hope Women's Resource Clinic, we work with them to support them and all of the things they're doing. We were able to work with Beaumont Independent School District to support their Teacher of the Year program that they do, just blessing them and saying thank you for everything that you do. And then lastly, recently, as of yesterday, we were able to bring awareness to our church and hopefully community about foster care and adoption through Buckner Beaumont. We had one of the representatives come, and then we're having a foster care interest meeting tomorrow night. So there's so much to foster care and supporting the ministry than just opening your home to a child long term. And we want them to be a part of that because I think many people think that foster care is a calling.
Yes.
But the scripture tells us that we're all called to support widows and orphans and to care for them. And so we want to encourage our church to step up, and to take on that responsibility because the needs are great and the needs are small and everyone can do something. And so we just are really excited, and hopefully we have some foster families after that meeting come out of that. So I'm really excited about that meeting.
And so they can contact you if they're interested in getting any information on Buckner's Children and Family Services. Yes. Mm-hmm. What are your hopes and dreams for the future of One City Care?
Oh, man. It's hard.
You can take a moment.
A lot of what we do with One City Cares is so Holy Spirit led. There's so many needs in our community. When you sit down and start doing the research, looking online, looking on Facebook, what's going on, what are the social services, where are the needs at, the list really just becomes endless. And I got to the point to where I just had to stop and pray and say, Lord, the organizations that you want us to partner with and the needs that you want us to meet, I just pray that you would bring them to us.
Yes.
And so I really got to the place where I stopped looking, and I just prayed that prayer, and then they came. People, individuals, we'd get phone calls. I'd have someone walk up to me on a Sunday during the week and say, hey, this is going on. Would you be interested? And I pray about every opportunity and if I feel peace about it. But I feel like that One City Cares, I really just want it to be led by the Lord. And I don't want my vision for it to overtake that.
Yes.
And I know that He's going to equip us and provide the people and the resources and the finances that we need as it grows. And so I really feel like it's endless what He could do through One City Cares. I don't know. I just, it's like when you give something like that to the Lord, I don't know that I could put words to it. I feel like I would probably limit, what He wants to do through it. But I am definitely ready for it. I'm excited. And so I just say, God, show us how you want to use One City Cares, because I feel like it's not just going to be a Southeast Texas thing. Even though, it is for our city, God, he's so big.
Yes, limitless is what I'm hearing. Limitless.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm going to go back. Any other organizations you desire to work with, how would they be able to contact you or desire to work with you?
They can call the church office. Probably would be the easiest way. I have a million different emails I could give you, but we could probably give them that information. But really just calling the church office and asking for me, and that's it. Real simple.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Pastor Amy, for sharing with us about One City Cares. I love when you say that you want to be the hands and the feet of Jesus. At the end of every show, I like our guests to just give an encouraging word to those that are watching that want to step out and begin a community outreach. And it seems like it's just so big and it's stressful. Can you encourage them and also encourage those that need caring for?
So for those that want to start a ministry or an outreach like this, I would say the first thing you need to do is hit your knees and pray, and ask the Lord for his timing, ask the Lord for his provision, ask the Lord for confirmation. And honestly, he's so good. He does that. And he will surround you with people that will confirm in your spirit that this is the right move. And he will open doors of support and partnerships. And when it's him and it's his calling and it's his timing, he just makes a way for that. And so I just would encourage, if they have that desire, and if they don't feel that yet, if they don't have the resources, if they don't have a church, because I work here, and so I have that resource, but if they don't have that, find an organization that is doing something similar to what you feel called to, and partner with them and see where the Lord takes you with that. Don't just not do it. Don't just not do anything if you feel like you don't have what it takes. If you don't have the tangible things that you feel that you need, because you'll never do it. You'll never do it. And so there's so many organizations that you can partner with. And for those that are in need, there is so many organizations in Southeast Texas and the Golden Triangle that is ready and willing to help. Here at One City, we are ready and willing to help. You can call here. And if you have a specific need and you don't know who to call, if you don't know the specific number or person, call me and I will help you find it, help you find an answer to that. And don't be afraid to reach out. In some small way, we all need help with different things. And so don't be discouraged or don't feel afraid to reach out and ask for help.
Well, this has been just an amazing time with Pastor Amy and One City Cares. I keep hearing for One City Cares, like I said, early limitless. The opportunities and the possibilities is limitless for One City Cares, I feel and believe. Also, I know that God is going to continue to show you all how to show others, believers and non-believers, the feet and the hands of Jesus. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us today on Not in My City Unite. We'll be back again with Pastor Amy, but we'll be discussing a different ministry. It's called Freedom Ministries, and you don't want to miss it. See you soon.